Okay, yeah, so that's very good. Really now you're almost there on the physical level. So it's more just kind of deepening the understanding of the art, the philosophy of the art. But it's really pretty good. You're getting deep relaxation. You're getting the flow. Going to point out just a few little physical points. When you do twin butterflies flying together and the whirling golden scissors, I'm going to recommend that rather than bending the spine, you shift the hips back, shift the weight back onto the back leg with the spine fairly upright, and then push in off the back leg so that it's more this than this. Bring the energy up from the feet.
So it's coming from the hips there more than that back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a shoulder thing, but it's more of a hip thing. Okay.
There's plenty this way. Shoulder girdle can flex and come back. But I recommend that, yeah, it's more hips and spine.
Yeah, it almost looks like when you're doing it, you're getting that pull from here instead of up here,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Deeper
Which
down.
would make more sense,
Deeper
like the
down.
sinking of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I definitely was not doing
Yeah.
that. Okay.
On the white horse shedding its saddle, make as much of a letter Z shape as possible with the arm. So bend the joints. With the lazy tiger stretching its back, keep your fingers pointed in towards each other, not creeping up there.
Okay.
It's definitely an inwards movement with the fingers. And then the last one, for the poisonous snake grasping the throat. Make this pressing downward movement with this point, like in salute to the sun there, but there's a turn. Yeah, that's it. So the idea, the visualization, if you throw a punch towards me, you're pressing down to get in to the neck.
So
Clear the space, then go through it. Yeah.
similar to
Exactly.
immortal casting
Yeah.
out the net. Okay.
Although really in the immortal casting the net, you don't press down
Ah, right. You
with
just
that.
it's more
It's
out.
more a question of you're trying to slide over that one. But you got this hand here, so if I can press down there and shoot in. This one, yeah, it's more of a lever it down and come over. But you still have to control that arm, because even if I push you down, if I start to come in, you can just push back up again. So I've got to control there, really, to might take advantage of the little space. Yeah,
And is that kind of what this hand's doing with that idea?
you
I
can
mean,
visualize
could be
that. Yeah,
grabbing that.
yeah.
Could be grabbing your shirt. Could be doing a lot of things, right?
If the hand's positioned back here, it can't grab anything really,
Yeah.
except if you just extend the arm again, it can grab the arm. That's the only thing you can grab, because you're too far back to grab anything else. But it's the principle of the Father, Son. One one's reflecting what the other's doing. It's back there, kind of like your second line of defense. But practically, you're not going to grip anything there if that's there. Okay, but it's looking smooth, it's looking good. Yeah. Okay. Well
I
done.
did have a
Yeah.
question. So I've been starting to feel more energy in this practice,
Good.
and I guess I'm wondering, finding that balance, because I notice as I kind of feel more energy, there's more movement happening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
The energy wants to move.
should I be exploring that more?
Yes.
Because it feels a little loose, but it feels not loose in a bad way, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. You know, it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like I'm flailing,
Yeah.
but it does feel like, oh, okay, actually, there's a lot more movement here than just.
Yeah. Yeah, you should definitely be exploring it. And exploring is a good word. It's like you're trying it out and you're feeling, okay, how does the energy move? How am I going to get it to move more? And you're starting to kind of understand the energy more. And yeah, that's the whole idea. So it's becoming a process of kind of self-exploration and discovering your energy, understanding more your energy. And this is the point I keep saying, that you can't understand it by reading books. You can only understand it by the experiencing of it. And this is your experience, that you're finding your energy's flowing, and you're understanding it. And you will, in the end, find your own kind of personal style, and it doesn't have to be the same as anybody else's. Doesn't have to be the same as mine. That's when you really start to own the art, and it becomes yours. When you explore and you find your preferences and the way that you like doing it, it's like, wow, yeah, that's it. That's my personal take on it. Then it's really your art. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
That's good. Okay, so do my best to give you some useful feedback on your Shuang. And I'd like to see you to sink more, and also to let your energy travel more and travel more easily. So you've done, I think, a lot of training in dancing, and dancers tend to put their hands somewhere, they put their feet somewhere, because it's about what it looks like. For this, initially it's not about what it looks like, it's more about what it feels like, that you let the energy flow, and when the movement flows properly, then it'll look right. So think about getting the flow of energy, the movement, the appearance will look after itself. So when you take your stance, let go more. And the more you let go, the more you sink. And it's the same with the shoulders. Let go. And don't think about precisely putting your hands there. Think about just letting them flow there. If you think about putting the hand there, it comes out like this. Instead, just relax, let it flow down there gradually, naturally. And legs just kind of very loose, not trying to be precise, not feeling like you're holding yourself up, just very fluid. Yeah. Do try to keep your fingers together. And then a few little suggestions. When you do the ferocious tiger returning to the mountain, remember your energy's going this way. So it's got to kind of push off that back leg there. When you spin around to here, get a shoulder's width between your heels and try to really make the kind of letter Z shape. Yeah, point the fingers forwards, elbow forwards, wrist back. Yeah. After the kick, sink down, sink your energy down. Maybe try putting the little bit further back. That's right, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I had a question about the ferocious tiger returning to the
Yeah.
mountain. Do you want to straight your elbow? Because it felt like you weren't, but I don't know. It doesn't feel really safe.
Ah. So the arm extends, but the joint doesn't lock. So it's the same story every time.
Mhm.
If your bones hit together,
Mhm.
you're locking a joint. Potentially you're damaging the cartilage on the end of the bones and you're overextending the tendons inside. If instead of the bones hitting each other, this forearm is stretching away from the upper arm, you're opening the joint. The bones are coming away from each other.
Mm.
There's no contact of one bone against another, therefore there's no possibility of damaging the cartilage, damaging the joint. All you're doing is stretching and opening the joint, which is good for it. That's opening up room for joint fluid, for more joint fluid. It's building elasticity into the joint. So it doesn't come like that and lock the joint. Instead, it's like that. The fingertips are extending away from the elbow. And as they're pulling away, they pull the bones of the forearm away from the bone of the upper arm.
Yeah.
And you just stretch and extend. Same thing for every move, never lock the joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Just open the joint, extend
It
the joint.
looks really weird to me. This. So here.
Your joints hyperextend,
Yeah.
they go past straight. So you got to avoid that there. Hopefully that's opening.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I can feel it.
But when that goes like that, that's not so good.
No, I can't really stretch. It's. Yeah.
Ah, yeah,
It's stuck here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Anything else on that? No?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyway, practice a little bit more.
Okay.
Just a moment. Good morning. I'm good. I'm very good.
I will not join the session if you know who voice is not good.
Okay. Oh, that's a shame.
Running
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
The edit videos.
Okay.
I guess because of smoke. Yeah, they are very
Mm.
sensible about the smoke.
Mm. Yeah. How close are we to the tea being ready?
Like about maybe 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay.
There's some issue with water.
Mm.
Almost 8:30.
Thanks. Yeah. Okay. Okay, tea time.
Okay.
In the middle. Am I sorry? I'm not sure about that.
Oh, we're over there.
Here.
I'm in the wrong place.
Maybe pull that out a little bit.
Yep.
Is this the same green tea of yesterday, or
Yeah, yeah. This is the better version.
we didn't see the sun roasted?
Sun roasted?
Yeah, you had talked about doing sun roasted yesterday.
Sun
Brew.
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 Sun brew.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for
Oh
the
yeah,
afternoon.
maybe we will do it today.
Okay.
Yeah. Sun brew tea is a very good option. Um, and, I think we will make it a regular practice.
Ah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, help yourself with the tea.
Okay. Yeah, actually pretty good energy this morning. I feel it's a very calm kind of energy today. Very, very calm morning. Unfortunately, the weather forecast says it's going to be another week until we get rain. Rain forecast for next Monday. There's a couple of fires burning in the mountains, so the air could get a little smoky. If we're lucky, the rain will come sooner. Tea. Are we going to have a tea story, or
Oh,
are we done for
yeah.
tea stories?
Are we? Yeah, today we drink green tea.
Ah,
Oh, yeah, today we drink green tea from Pullman. Almost the same as yesterday. So this tea, usually we don't drink green tea on an empty stomach, but this tea is very good. It's ancient trees and it doesn't have this irritating effect. So this tea was harvested from the ancient trees. The age of the trees was 500 to 1000 years old. So this tea, I suppose it contains GABA and the other stuff naturally. And it doesn't have irritating effects. It has a calming effect on the body. Yeah, and it's very good for the weather because the weather is hot. If we will drink black tea, it will not be very good for our body. It will get heated. process is like prolonged. So we will get this effect for maybe for about like 4 hours. So it will be in our gut, in intestines, and these ferments will still produce some heat from the body. But the green tea, actually it works. The tea has a cooling nature. The tea itself, even a red black tea, it may heat you up like for a while unless it's hot. But then it has some cooling effect. But for black tea, I don't think it works. It always has heating effect. Okay, enjoy the tea.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dimitri.
So, do we have any questions this morning?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I've had a question. Some people who are left-handed, they practice tantao or the other weapon routines with the left hand as a main hand.
Yep.
But was there cases of like doing Shuang or Samchen or Tiger Crane routines with left hand forward, like mirror, like like mirror style?
First of all, if we think about the Samchen, generally speaking, both hands are doing the same thing. So it's not a right-handed or a left-handed routine. In fact, doing exactly the same thing with left and right, getting the two to mirror each other, is really good for developing the brain, because it's making both sides of the brain work together. So generally speaking, the left side of the brain controls the right side of the body, the right side of the brain controls the left side of the body. But if you're going to get both sides to work together, then the two sides of the brain work together. So your more kind of logical, calculating left brain has to work together with you more kind of creative, artistic right brain. And yeah, it's kind of like unifying the different parts of the mind. So that's really good, that's really desirable. You could, I suppose, suggest that the Tepe Samchen, where you have the right foot in front, you could transpose it to putting the left foot in front. But no, I've never heard of anybody do it. For the weapons, it's much more of a thing, because if you have a one-handed weapon, left-handed people will feel more comfortable using the weapon in the left hand. So some people do switch it over. For Swan Young, I've never come across anybody doing it the other way. You could do salute to the sun with your left hand forward, but a lot of the moves are not kind of right-handed or left-handed. There's so many moves where the two hands are coming together. But you could transpose it if you wanted to. There is a very, very famous, well-respected Kung Fu master in Singapore called Keong Ho. He is one of the most famous masters of his generation. When Master Ung, our founder, first started teaching in Singapore, he was instructing at Bun Lum Pugilistic Association, which was founded in 1951 by Keong Ho, and it was the first Hokkien Kung Fu Association in Singapore. And Keong Ho was the founder, and he had other Kung Fu masters on his kind of teacher team, including Master Ung. But eventually, in a couple of years later, Master Ung went off to found our association, Nam Yang, but he started teaching with Keong Ho. Keong Ho was a master of the Tai Chi, the Tiger style, and he was the head of the herbal medicine peddlers sect in Singapore. And he was left-handed, and he taught all his kung fu, all his weapons left-handed, even to right-handed students. And they was often questioned, that they questioned whether it was a good idea, but because he did everything with the left, he taught everything with the left. But that suggests that in those days, if you were left-handed, then you switched it around, you did it left-handed. So, no reason why not to do that. On the other hand, if you learn something in the other hand, it's very good for balancing the two sides of your brain and developing the less developed side.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, is there significant enough value for, say, myself, I'm a right-handed person, to try to learn any of those weapons left-handed, or is it?
Well, I guess it's a matter of opinion, a matter of personal judgment. I've never actually bothered to do it. It would probably be a good exercise. But because when you learn the double weapons, you have to learn the left as much as the right. The left works with the right, the two work together. I've always left it there and not got on to doing the single weapons left-handed. But it'd be an interesting thing to do. Maybe I'll do it one day. Yeah, maybe one day I will. But sometimes if I'm learning something new, I purposely learn it left-handed. So I use my mobile phone left-handed, because it was smartphones only came in quite recently, and I thought, okay, I'll teach myself to use a smartphone with my left, just to get the left going. So if something new comes up, I'll do it with the left. How many left-handers do we have here? One. Yeah.
Oh.
Troy's also left-handed.
Ricardo bounces back and forth.
Well, that's good. That's good. Being ambidextrous is obviously the ideal, but yeah, no reason not to switch it over to the left hand. Anything else? Any other questions this morning? Let me just see what the time is. We've got another 5 minutes of tea break.
I have a question. I don't know if it's 5 minutes, but
Well, doesn't have to be exactly 5 minutes.
okay.
I think, yeah.
I heard you sometimes saying, "Oh yeah, that's your weapon," or things like that. So I was wondering, how do you find your weapon? Is there such things? Because I don't know how many weapons we have here, maybe 30, I don't really know,
More
but
than that. Yeah.
more than that. So, do you practice all of them equally when you know all of them? Or do you have favorites? Yeah.
Nobody practices all of the weapons in equal amount because there's just too many. In fact, nobody practices all of them at all. Nobody really learns all of them. Think how difficult it is to keep up practicing your routines. It's not only the time, it's the energy that you need, especially with big heavy weapons. Now, just imagine that you've learned, and this would be very difficult, but you learned 50 different weapon routines. To practice all of them, well, roughly speaking, we'll say 2 minutes for the routine and a minimum minutes break in between. 50 times 3, that's 150 minutes.
Two and a half hours.
2.5 hours. That's 2.5 hours of quite strenuous practice. Some of them are very strenuous. By the time you've taken them all out from the office, brought them down to the training area, brought them back, that's 3 hours a day. And it's not just the time, it's the energy. And the remembering. And nobody does it. It's just like with the freehand routines. For our tiger crane art, okay, we've got really 18 solo routines, 4 partner routines. Why don't we have more? Why don't we have more? Well, you never have time to practice them all. You're never going to practice them all every day. Even if you know 9, I bet you don't practice them all every day. See, so it's not realistic. You think about it, you're going to spend almost an hour doing your Qigong practice in the morning, 45 minutes doing your Shuang. Then you got your vein tendon Qigong, then you get your iron shirt Qigong, your tiger crane routines, your weapon routines, your kind of workouts, your sticky hands, pushing hands. The time's not going to be there. So it's good to learn different weapon routines. It's interesting, and you start to understand more. But what will happen is that you will find that there are some you like and some you don't like. And you will realize, okay, this weapon suits me. I like it. I like this weapon. It's suitable for me. And there'll be some that you don't like. You don't like doing it. And then you'll kind of start to know, okay, this is my weapon. This is one that I like. This is something I want to practice. And they say the jack of all trades is the master of none. Probably you can find 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5, but probably 2 or 3 weapons, as well as the basic ones, that you really take to heart and they're going to be your kind of signature weapons, and you're going to practice them and make something of them, and develop, real character into the way you perform those weapons. And yeah, that's great. They're going to be your weapons. It's much better to be a master of a few than to be a practitioner of a lot. So you seem to be taking pretty well to the Shuang Tao. But we'll see. We'll see how you get on with other weapons. No problem learning lots of them, but you will find that there's only a small number that you really practice, that you really like. Okay. Down to business. So we'll wind up the tea break and then do the grading. I'm going to make sure I get this right. You're going to be grading on Chop Sa Tai Po.
Yep.
Sip Ji Kun. No. Tebe Sam Chen. Tai Chun Kun. You're on Sip Ji Kun. Yeah. Chris Gu is on Chen Tai Lin Chen. And Mandy on Som Chen. And we start from the highest one and work down. So Buddhistan will be on first. And then if we got a bit of time afterwards, then we'll be learning new routines. Then just quickly go through the arrangements, the domestic arrangements. I will be leaving for Chiang Mai as soon as I can after breakfast. Realistically, be back on Wednesday. Come Wednesday, we'll have more students. Tuba is, I'm going to come back on Wednesday. Manuel and his son are arriving tomorrow. And then I think Joe's arriving on Wednesday. So it all starts to happen this Wednesday. We'll get back to the usual timetable. All pretty good. Okay. I think we're ready to go, yeah. Here we go.
Thank you, Sam.
There was quite an interesting talk. Shall we get from the live stream, like the audio?
Could do, yeah. Could do.
And should I get my belt?
Yeah. So we could have podcasts on left-handedness and finding your weapon. Yeah. That's two. Okay, so we are just a shade short of people to do the grading. Guys, if you like to just warm up a little bit, not too hard, just gentle warm up for 5 minutes or less, I think we'll have everybody here. So, exciting moment here. We're just about to start the grading test on the Kung Fu. And we've got about 6 people doing it this morning. And it's always a big thing. They've trained hard for this. Hopefully hit their peak, and they're going to demonstrate their Kung Fu and hopefully ascend to the next level. So we're really just waiting for everybody to arrive. And we've been through a quiet couple of weeks here at the Kung Fu retreat in Thailand, because it's been the hot season. Actually, the hot season has broken and we've had a little rain, although it looks like it's going to be dry for another week now. But the weather always improves at about this time. So we got about 5 people booked to come in over the next few days. So things are going to kind of build up again. And we're quite excited about releasing our online membership and being able to work with people online again. So that's coming on the 1st of June. Yeah, you can see Buddhist Sun on his way down. I can see Kyle as well. And we just need Dimitri. I think I've just seen Dimitri wandering up there somewhere. I don't know.
I saw him going back to his rooms to get a belt, I think, to get a sadge.
Well, this is a bit boring, so I think we're going to have to start anyway. Okay. Just one kind of apology. I'm not going to have time to print the certificates before I leave for Chiang Mai. I've got to go in a hurry. So make sure you remind me to print them when I get back. Yeah. I'll be able to do them Wednesday or Thursday. So, yeah. Right, shall we make a straight line and get ready to start? Okay. Here we go then. Bow. Okay, well done guys. As usual, starting with the highest grading, so Buddhist Sun is going to lead. So would you like to come forward? And everybody else, you can just take a seat and enjoy the show. Maybe facing this way. Okay, here we go. Yeah, bow. And let's take a look at your Tai Ching Kun. Okay, well done. Well done. Yeah, very good. Feedback, your springy strength's not as good as it sometimes is, but it is 8:30 in the morning, so that's hardly surprising. And yeah, the moves are pretty much on it. The only thing I'm going to suggest, when you cross step, put a little bit more energy into that block before you chop out. So a little bit of whip into the block before you come out with a chop.
Is that with the elbow then? Really?
Yeah, flick the elbow in. So instead of just coming like that,
Yeah.
there's a little bit more clear block and then chop. 1, 2.
And then are you using that kind of like you talked about the other day, that bounce? 'Cause it bounces, and then you're
Okay. So the
very
question,
springy.
it's all about retaining energy. So whichever way you do it, you've got to retain energy.
Okay.
If you just did that, you're still actually retaining your energy. So you weren't losing the energy. But we want to make it a little bit clearer there. So yeah, you get a bounce and then there, and you retain your energy. So whichever way you do it, you got to retain the energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose then the question maybe is, how do you retain your energy? Because if you did that, you've lost it before you do that. But if you do that, boom, and there's still, the body can still kind of be moving as that elbow's flicking in, you can still have the body moving.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just making sure you get that an effective block. It's going to work as a block, so the elbow's got to be tucked in. Okay. So now the 3 sequences, starting with this one. Okay, that's great. Then this one. Show that one more time.
Wasn't very good. I'm gonna do that one more time if you would mind.
Okay, Hannah. 1, 2, 3. Circling. Yeah. Much better. Okay, that's it. That's good. Yeah. Back as upright as you can get it when you squat down. So the last one. Okay, that's good. That's good. And now the weapon routine. Yeah. Okay. That was really good. That was really good. That was kind of competition entry standard. We should get some good horizontal video of that. We should get it sooner rather than later while you're on form. Let's get that filmed. Yeah,
Okay.
I want that.
We
I
can
want
work
that
on
on
the
film.
next couple of days.
Yeah, yeah. I want that on film.
Let's see if Prisca will do it.
Yeah. Where is? Oh, there. There's Prisca. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. All right. Well done. Okay, that's great. You passed. Well done.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Let's give a clap. Here we go. Bow. Okay. So, Prisca, I'd like you to start off by demonstrating the 3 little sequences for your grading.
So the grading moves.
Yeah. And stop. Now I want you to do that again with a little bit more waist turn, more twist, more energy from the waist. That's it. Yeah, like that. Yes. Yeah. Okay, that's good. And the next one. That's great. And the next one. One more. Okay, good, good. And now, yeah, relax. When you're ready, show us your Tiantailing Tian. Okay, yeah, well done. Yeah, the moves are good. We need more elasticity, more springiness in your fascia. But I'll talk with you a bit more about building that. Okay, but yeah, other than that, that's really good. So you're going to do the partner routine with Buddha-san, yeah? Okay, let's take a look. So, hang on. Ben Ho Tu Tong, the brave tiger emerging from the jungle. Okay, good. Yeah, well done. That's excellent. Thanks, Buddha-san. You can have a sit down. Okay. Wow. Well done, Priska. You passed. Yeah. Very good. Dimitri, I think you're next. Yeah. Here we go. Bow. And let me see. I'd like you to start by demonstrating the sequence that starts this way. Okay, good. Now I'd like you to do it again with a triple punch. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Okay, okay. And next, this one. Yeah, okay. Okay, now let's take a look at your chop star type ball. Okay. So for you, you need to kind of connect up your fascia more. You can be a little bit loose. There's kind of looseness, and where you have looseness, you lose energy. So you might have energy channeling up from your feet, but if you're kind of loose at the waist and you wobble, then you lose the energy there. So we want all of the fascia interconnected. And every time you do this, you're practicing to do that. You're pulling it all together. And we want as much elasticity as possible. You know, elastic, bounce, train elasticity, but train connection in the fascia so everything is holding together. Okay, so now you're going to do this staff, yeah? Have you got a staff handy?
Yes.
Okay, off we go. Use a wooden one, not a bamboo. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, I remember the routine.
This one. Push, don't pull. You pull, it can come out of your hand. You push, it just gets pushed into your hand. And when you jump back the first time, hang on, other way around. Right foot in front, yeah. Then the left on the second one. I'll start from the beginning again. That's good. Shuffle back. Shuffle back. Okay. You got to practice that a lot more. Yeah. For this grading, the rule is you got to be able to remember the routine. Next grading, you got to be able to do the same routine to a good standard. Yeah. So you need to practice that. Put the staff down for now. And we go over the story. So for this one, it's the story of Chile. Yeah. Would you like to quickly tell us the story?
Yeah. So the story tells about how the tiger crane style gets popular.
Yeah.
So Chile, he practiced tiger style. He was very good at tiger style, Tai Chi, and he has an iron palm. And they told that everything he gripped with his right hands turned to dust.
Yeah. He was doing our art, the tiger crane art. Chile was practicing
Yes.
the tiger crane art. Yeah. Let's make that clear.
Yes, so he was very good, and he usually took part in the competitions called Lei Tai,
Yep.
which was like deadly competitions. Usually the opponent died, and Chile usually won all the competitions. But then when he got older, he retired and became a shoemaker.
Yep.
But then in the northern part of the province,
Northern China.
northern
Yeah.
so the other champion of the other style has challenged him. He refused, but this champion, northern champion, challenged him again and again, and finally he decided to accept the challenge. And he went to the north and found this champion, and he was able to beat him very quick. Then he escaped back,
Yeah.
and that's how he became very famous, and that's how the
Yeah.
tiger crane style became
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
famous.
So he was the champion of southern China, and he was kind of forced into fighting the champion of northern China, and defeated him, and then quickly made an escape
Yes.
on a boat before anybody could kill him. And that was how our art became famous, became popular. Yeah, that's the story. So you lay, okay, well done. Right, okay, stand, bow. Okay, yeah. You passed, but you've got to get the staff routine a lot smoother. Yeah. Okay, 1 minute.
And hold it.
Okay then. Ricardo, now's your chance. Okay, bow, and here we go. So you're grading on Sipji. Demonstrate your horse riding stance. Your horse riding stance, yeah. Now step forward into a walking stance and demonstrate the single chop. And now with the other hand. Oh, good, that was good. Good. Okay, now the double chop. And one more. Okay, good. Keep the body upright when you do that. Don't bend to the side. Just body upright. Yeah. And now the cat washing its face. That one. Yeah. Now like a bigger circle, big round circle. Good. The monkey squat. And on the other leg. Good. And now the full turn, the 180-degree turn. Turn to face the opposite direction. And back again. That's great. Now I'd like you to demonstrate a heel kick. Good. And a low side thrusting kick. Good. And that's great. Demonstrate a cat stance, the cat stance, and from a cat stance, the crane kick. That's good. One more. Yeah. If you have the hands here, keep the elbows tucked in, elbows in, hands relaxed. One more. Go on. That's it. Great. And relax. Okay, so now I'd like you to demonstrate your Sipji Kun. Yeah, okay, well done. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, so make sure you get your elbows in when we do these blocks, yeah. Elbow in, hand at about that angle, yes. And as it comes across the face, circle, yeah, not straight, circle. Get the momentum in the circle. I'm sure there was something else. I'm struggling to remember. Always keep your front foot turned in. Yeah, keep that front foot in. Try to get more flow in, yeah. You got all the moves. You remember the moves, but we just want to get them to flow together a bit better. Yeah. So the next stage for you is to get flow into your routine. The power's okay. Power's there. Want to get flow. Yeah. Have you been practicing to demonstrate the sparring set, Sumchin sparring set? Who are you going to do that with? Which partner? Who's going to be your partner? Priska. Okay, great. Let's take a look at that one now. There we go. Okay, good. Yeah, well done, guys. Yeah, yeah. Okay, you can take a seat, Priska. So finally, the story. So you're going to tell the story of the burning of the Shaolin Temple and the origins of the tiger crane art. I think we'll just start with the story of Hung Yi Khan. Hung Yi Khan, after he escaped from the Shaolin Temple. Tell me a little bit about him.
Well, Hong Yi Khan, after the burning of the temple in Fujian province, he started to stick with opera. I don't remember the word, but
The Red Barge
Yeah.
opera troupe
Yeah,
used to
it was
travel
called-
on a red barge, yeah.
yeah, the Red Barge, and he was also part of the opera. So he was looking for students, and also, he tried to achieve to defeat the Manchurians, and so later in his career, he was he he looked old man teaching his daughter a type of kung fu that he didn't know, and he was interested, so he hid behind a tree to look at her. And when the old man looked at him,
Yeah.
asked him to spar
Yeah.
with his daughter, and he was really surprised because Hong Yi Kang was known because of the power of his strikes, and against the lady, the fragile lady, was nothing because she reflected all the attacks.
Yeah.
So the girl was called T In Chun.
Yep.
T In Chun.
Ti Ing Chun.
Yeah, and she practiced the white crane style. So Hong Ikan stayed with that family to learn more, and he suddenly fell in love to tea in Chun. So that's how the tiger crane combination was born.
Okay, they practiced together and developed this art, which was then passed down through her family, the T family. Okay. Ah, all right, good. Well done, Ricardo. Okay, bow. Okay, you passed. Yeah, give him a clap. Give him a clap. Okay. Kyle, you're next. Yeah. And you're going to do your Tobe Sumchen. Here we go. Bow. Okay, well done. Demonstrate your horse riding stance. Toes turned in. Yeah. Now step forward into a walking stance. Good. Turn left into an upper crane block, then step forward into a triple punch. Yeah. And again. Yeah. And pull back, grip. Yeah. So with the block, try to get it to snap around and the punches. Whip out, whip like springy punches, yeah. One more. Yeah, that's better. That's better. And grip. One last one to face the front again. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Grip, much better. Good. Now the double upper crane block. Double upper crane block. Yeah, that's it. Quite downwards at the end. As you finish, downwards, yeah, that's it. One more. Down, spring it down, shuffle forward, pierce down with your fingertips. And again. And now striking with the blade of the hand this way. One more. Okay, very good. And next, the father-son block. Okay, and now this one circling around, snap out. Good, and step back into a back stance, slice down. Good, and now I'd like you to demonstrate a front thrusting kick. Yeah, one more. And relax, good. Lastly, this circling block. Stepping forward 2 times, yeah. 1, 2. One more. 1, 2. Okay, that's good. There. One's blocking high, the other one's covering low. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Take a couple of steps back and let's take a look at your Tepe Sumchen, shuffling Sumchen. Tuck your chin. Okay, good, good. Okay, well done. Elbow strike. Knuckles up on the elbow strike. Yeah. If you turn the hand this way, you tend to connect more with the muscle. If you have it this way, this bone here is the point of connection. So you want to connect with the hard, bony part of the arm.
Okay.
Good. So now the story of Bodhidharma. I'm going to just cut this short by asking a few questions. So, where was Bodhidharma born?
India?
India. Do you know which part?
No.
Southeast.
So
And what was his status when he was born? He was a
he was a prince?
prince, that's right. And he later renounced his princehood to become what?
Monk.
A monk, a Buddhist monk, yeah. And he became the 28th patriarch of Indian Zen, so the 28th in line from the Buddha in the kind of practice of Indian Zen. And then, where did he go to teach?
China.
China, yeah. And what was the temple to which he was appointed as the head monk?
The Little Forest Temple?
Little forest. So Shaolin, yeah, Shaolin, small forest. He came to the Shaolin temple and observed that the monks were not really fit for the practice of Buddhism. And he decided he needed to kind of contemplate this, come up with a solution. So where did he go to contemplate all of this?
In a cave.
A cave,
9
yeah.
years.
9 years in a cave. And when he came out, what did he do then?
He taught all the monks the Qigong that he had come up with in the cave.
Yeah. Yep. And the rest is history. Okay. Right. Okay. Thanks, Carl. Yeah. Bow. Okay. You passed. Yeah. Well done. Yeah. Well done. Mandy, your turn. Sorry for the long wait. But here we go. That's it. Bow. Demonstrate your horse riding stance. Yeah, good. And now step forward into a walking stance. Take 2 steps forwards. And now shuffle backwards 3 times. Good. Now show the bow arrow stance like you use in the Shuang. Yep. And back to a horse riding stance. Okay. I'd like you to demonstrate the Shaolin punches, 20 punches. Keep your shoulders down and your chest up. Okay, I think that's a little bit more than 20. But that's okay because it's not a maths test. So let's take a look at your elbow strike, the front elbow strike. Yeah, that's it. That's good actually, that's good. And the back hammer fist. The back hammer fist, yeah. Okay. And a groin kick. Show us a groin kick. Yeah. Next, okay, check your horse riding stance and let's see an upper block and now a single lower crane block. Elbow tucked in, hand out to the side, deflect some, that's good, yeah. The other hand, and one more, good. Now the double version, the double lower crane block. Make sure you come right around in a big circle, across the other side, that's it, yeah. And right out at the bottom, right out, yeah. One more. And now the inner block, twist, yeah, that's it. Yeah, plenty waist movement, plenty twist of the waist. Yeah, twist the waist. Okay, stand straight, stand up straight, yeah. When you're ready, demonstrate your Sun Chen. Okay, well done. So that's pretty good, that's pretty good. Yeah. Do keep your chest up at the front and your shoulders sunk down. Relax the shoulders down. We don't want the shoulders to slip forward. When the shoulder is just sunk down, the bones are intact. They transmit strength better. You don't lose strength of the shoulder. Yeah, that's better. That was it, yeah. Good, and at the end, step back. Feet side by side. So quickly, the questions are the name of our association.
Nam Young Pugilistic Association?
Association, yeah, you can hold that. And the art that we're doing is the...
Tiger crane style?
That's great. Now, the founder of our association, the first master, what was his name?
Master Tan.
The other one.
Oh, Master Eng Lian what?
Ang Lian Huat, that's right. And then his successor, who is the second master, what was his name?
Master Tan Salin?
Tan So Tin. Tan So Tin. Yeah, Tan So Tin. Yeah. And which province in China does our art come from?
Fujian?
Fujian, yep. And our club, Namyang, where was it started?
Singapore.
Singapore. Do you know which part of Singapore?
Galen?
Geylang. And do you remember which year?
1954.
1954, fantastic. And the routine that you just did, what's it called?
Sumchin.
Sumchen, and what does that mean?
3 wars.
3 wars, excellent. Okay, well done. That's great, yeah. Bow. All right, you passed. All right, that's it. All right, you can run away and sit down now. Okay, well done, guys. So, only just in time. I didn't realise it'd take that long, actually. Otherwise, I'd have finished the tea break earlier. Let's have everybody lined up. Yeah. Well, that was a reasonable little demonstration of our Kung Fu routines as well. Okay. Well done, guys. Bow. Okay. Congratulations. You can now go up and learn the next level. And time we had some breakfast, yeah. Okay, thanks guys, yeah.